Hello and welcome to this edu tip on using Zoom for web conferencing at the University of Alaska. As you can see here, Zoom was chosen as a video conferencing solution by the University of Alaska OIT. However, it's integrated within Blackboard and can be integrated within our Google Calendar and can be used for web conferencing as well. And that is the focus of this edu tip. The first step, whether you're going to be using it through Blackboard or any other way, everybody should go through and configure your account, alaska.zoom.us. When you go to this website and click sign in, staff, students, and faculty of the University of Alaska have pro Zoom accounts, which may have more features than any previous Zoom account you have personally. So when you click sign in, the first step would be to take a quick look at your profile, maybe add a photo that would show up during the meetings. Notice the meeting capacity is 300. Common question. I like to connect Zoom to Calendar since I use the Google Calendar and also sync contacts, so you can check those settings under profile, but the most important thing is to go to settings. So again, this is something, no matter how you're going to use Zoom, it's important to choose your personal settings here first. And also, in order to have all of those settings work in a meeting that you're in using Zoom, you should log into this Zoom account to join meetings to make sure that you have all of the features you want. So under settings, there are some things that I have changed, and I can tell because it says modified. Join before host is very useful, particularly when you're doing trainings and department meetings and things like that. And you want people to be able to get into the Zoom session even if the host has not joined yet. And as you scroll down, you'll see lots of other settings that you can choose to turn on or off. If you're going to be using Zoom for teaching, you may want to turn on polling. Zoom has many of the same features as Blackboard Collaborate and Google Hangouts Meet. Sometimes you just have to turn those settings on. So polling, screen sharing is on by default. That is really the key to using Zoom for sharing any content. And that gives you also an annotation bar that you can write on top of what you're sharing. You can turn on a blank whiteboard for brainstorming, and all participants can use that annotation toolbar to add to it. And then scrolling down to the advanced settings, many people using Zoom for teaching will want to turn on breakout rooms. And so take some time to review all of the settings, and keep in mind that you will want to log into this Zoom account prior to joining meetings to be sure that you have all of these features available to you. So you can schedule meetings here or through Blackboard, and it will be a topic of a future video, but scheduling a meeting through this Zoom application, you can click schedule a new meeting, you can name it, and one of the features I want to point out is that you can set up a recurring meeting and you can choose no fixed time. And in essence, that makes a meeting that's available anytime, which can be useful depending on your purposes. So you'll want to consider your particular meeting and all the features that you want available. Again, enable before host can be very useful, particularly for department meetings and things like that, so other people don't have to wait for the host to join, especially if someone else is creating the meeting who's not even going to be attending. So when you click save, you have a lot of good information about that meeting you just created. The meeting ID is needed for people to join from their Zoom app on their smartphone. Really easy to do, and you can provide that meeting ID. Notice that that meeting ID is part of the URL. So this is typically the URL you would send to people, and they could click on it to join a Zoom session. You can add it to your calendar, and you can review the features of course you can edit those if you decide to make a change. When you click copy the invitation, it provides even more detailed information that you can copy and send to your participants via email. You can record your meetings. You may choose to record to the cloud or record locally on your computer. The local recordings will show up within a Zoom folder within your files, and it takes a little bit of time, a couple of hours I've noticed, for the recordings to appear, and the cloud recordings same time, but this can be shared a little bit more easily by getting a link and sharing that to people you want to be able to view your recording. And lastly, I just want to point out that there is a lot of good support from Zoom, and you can get training from Zoom or review their support web pages. There's also some useful FAQs on the UA OIT website that might be useful.